XRP is going to go on sale in Japan in about 2 hours, at least as of the time of this recording. By the time many of you are watching this, it's probably already listed. I'm going to get into some details about XRP actually going live, being relisted in Japan. And as some people expected, the Evergrande default or threat of default sent shockwaves throughout the rest of the financial world. And what did China do? Well, they're doing what most of the Western world has been doing anytime they come across a financial crisis. What they are actually doing and what it's going to do to the crypto space. I have some information on that in this video. I'm also going to talk about which technical analysts and on-chain analysts that I actually watch on a daily basis have been saying for what to expect for the rest of the year. I'm actually going to go over a list. I know some people have been asking which ones that I watch on a daily basis. I'm going to go over a short list for you guys so you can go ahead and follow them on Twitter, follow them on YouTube, because it's a very, very knowledgeable list. And finally, it looks like we might be getting some common sense reaction to the crypto space in terms of its regulation. And I'm not talking about the SEC. There's now bipartisan support for a bill that is being proposed. I'm going to tell you about it, who's proposing it, and why. Hey everyone, my name is Randy, and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus SEC case, along with cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any of those topics interest you, make sure you do two things. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. Also, I believe people in the crypto space are the most generous people on the planet. So if you're feeling generous today, go ahead and do two things. Hit the thumbs up button, and number two, watch this video all the way to the end. Those are really the two best things that you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you guys would do that, I'd really appreciate it. All right, with that, let's jump into it. So point number one, I'm actually going to get into the news that just came out of China earlier this evening. And so if you haven't been caught up with it, Evergrande, which is a huge real estate company in China, is threatening default on a $300 billion worth of debt. Well, China saw that that could completely destabilize not just their economy, but many markets around the world. So what did they do? Well, they do the same thing the United States does when they're in financial trouble. Just print more money. So that's exactly what they did. They fired up the old digital yuan printer and put $18 billion into the Chinese economy. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's actually a very small amount, but nonetheless, that's what everybody expected. And if you've been in the crypto market for some time and you look at what a lot of analysts say, money printing and printers go burr, generally good for crypto markets, because for the most part, the crypto space is that hedge against inflation, or even deflation for that matter. And so over the coming months, it is of my belief that we're going to see some upward movement on the price of Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins in the crypto market. And I'm not alone. I'm going to tell you about some of the guys that I watch, on a daily basis. Some of these are technical analysts, some of these are on-chain analysts. And for the most part, they're in agreement as to what's going to happen for the rest of this year. There's really only maybe one or two that might have some disagreements with it. But I'm going to go over a list right now. So as for the technical analysts, these are the guys that I typically watch pretty much on a daily basis. These include guys like Blockchain Backer, DIY Investor, Dark Defend, who is on Twitter, Michael Vanderpop, Charlie Lee, and Benjamin Cowan. They are extremely knowledgeable. Some of them follow the Elliott wave theory. Others look at different types of trading patterns. But nonetheless, a lot of them are saying what the end of this year is going to bring is this Bitcoin market cycle bull run, this blow off top. So we're actually going to see what happens. The other side of this is that I look at on-chain dynamics, which is the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, like who's buying Bitcoin, how long they're holding it, who's selling it, at what prices they're selling it to, and how much Bitcoin is actually on exchanges, how much is being removed from exchanges, which exchanges, and all those details as well. It's basically the same thing as technical analysis, but rather than just price movements, it tracks all of the underlying information. So a few of the people that I watch for that are Dan Held, Will Clement, and Willy Woo. These guys are extremely analytical and really know their stuff. So you can go and follow them. Some of them are on Twitter, some of them are on YouTube. But nonetheless, the consensus between the vast majority of them is that the rest of this year, some of them even say into the beginning Q1 of next year, that we're going to see the rest of this bull run play out with a blow off top. It looks like we finally have some common sense coming out of Congress in the way of crypto regulation because the SEC right now, headed by Gary Gensler, just doesn't seem to be that. Now, if you watched my previous video, I gave some insights into what Gary Gensler just said in his recent interview. In his new, in fact, the interview was called "Cryptocurrencies: The Way Forward." And in his way forward, it was regulate, 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 build walls, control. Don't let spills on aisle 3 happen when you could build walls now. That's basically his thought. However, what that's actually going to do is drive innovation outside of the United States. In the name of protecting investors, you might kill an entire industry, at least within one specific country. Now, I don't believe that can happen long term because that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin was actually created, why decentralized finance is actually extremely popular, is because a lot of these investors don't actually want framework and walls and regulations in place. So there are 2 senators that are now proposing a bill that would essentially enable more innovation in the crypto space. And Democratic Senator Kristen Sinema are bipartisans that are supporting this new bill, and they're hoping to get more support from both sides of the aisle. So Caitlin Long actually tweeted this out on Twitter, and I'm going to read some of what she just said about it. Her first tweet said that staffers will focus on 1, definitions to clarify regulatory jurisdiction, and 2, consumer protection, 3, digital asset custody requirements, and it'll draw heavily from Wyoming's existing laws doing all of the above. Now, she notes that one key to this is that it will respect states' rights in innovation in crypto. But nonetheless, you can now see Congress may even want to step in and actually provide some clarity and some actual framework for this new regulation around crypto, seeing that the SEC really aren't doing anything. Even though Gary Gensler wants this framework to be done and put in place, doesn't sound like he's going to be stepping forward to actually try to build that. Well, I want to know what you guys think. If Congress is actually in charge of putting together a framework and giving regulatory clarity, do you think that would actually be better news rather than coming from the SEC or even the CFTC? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, this new proposed bill was breaking news. I didn't even have it into my notes until the last second before I started recording here, so this is really interesting kind of turn of events. It's definitely something that I'm going to be following over the next couple of days and probably weeks. And in just about an hour and a half from now, there's going to be an exchange, a crypto exchange in Japan relisting XRP. The Taotao exchange, which I actually made a video about a couple of days ago, is officially going to be listing it. There's actually a countdown clock. There's actually a countdown clock that I've been following, but by the time a lot of you watch this video, it will probably already be listed. Now, is it actually going to do anything to the price action of XRP? It might. It might. I wouldn't expect a whole lot because really the whole market cycle thing has to play out. I don't think one tiny little exchange, even in Japan where they're very crypto hungry, is going to make a huge difference, although we could see a little bit of a bump. So look out for that. Now, this is just a small exchange, but it is another exchange that is relisting XRP. In my opinion, we're going to have a couple crypto exchanges getting ready to relist XRP because if you read the writing on the wall, of this Ripple case, it's only a matter of time. I'm under the assumption that definitely by the end of this year, this case will have been resolved. Ripple's going for the out-and-out victory, and you're going to see mass relistings of XRP. So if you want to follow it too, make sure you're subscribed, and for all these storylines for that matter, make sure you're subscribed to the Late Night Grind, and also don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that community tab I have up there. I put out polls on a weekly, sometimes a daily basis. I always love to know what the Late Night Grind community is thinking about these things. Well, once again, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you watching all the way to the end, giving it a big thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.